Hey loves, Kim here, and I'm back with another video. So if this is your first time on the channel, I just want to say welcome and thank you so much for watching. And if you like what you see, feel free to hit that subscribe button and be sure to click that bell, that way you never miss an upload from me. And if you're an OG that's been here for a minute, thank you so much for coming back. So we are in part 2 of my Building Magnolia Promenade series here on the channel, which is basically when I take Magnolia Promenade and redo all the lots to make them into lots that your Sims actually feel enticed to visit, to actually go out shopping and socialize. So yeah, here we are. We are starting in our police precinct, and we will also be tackling our loan office, which is the building next door, just furnishing it and making it feel more purposeful. If you haven't seen part 1 of this series, stop what you're doing right now and click on the card above and check that out. I do the entire shell, so the entire exterior of the shop. So if you're interested in what other things I have in store, that video will give you a slight sneak peek. And I also talk about my inspiration for starting this build series and just some of the other things that I want to get done. But if you've already seen part 1, buckle up and here we go, because here is part 2. So like I said, I'm starting with the police precinct, and I feel like a police precinct is very important, only because usually when there are a lot of shops and a lot of people shopping, there tends to be shoplifting. So I feel like there needs to be some sort of balance in making sure people don't shoplift, and if you do, there is a consequence. Now of course I can't set this lot as a police precinct, kind of like in the secret world that came with the Get to Work pack. However, I can pretend that there is one, and you know, if your Sims want to play security or police officer, they have a home base to do so. Mentioning that this career came with the Get to Work pack, I use a lot of items from that pack. I like those items because it feels very utilitarian and it feels a bit cold. And honestly, if you were in a police precinct, it wouldn't feel like a 5-star resort. So I definitely wanted to kind of have that certain kind of uneasiness if you were behind bars, but if you were working there, it just feels like work, and not all of the bells and whistles, just enough to get the job done. So yeah, we're currently upstairs and I am just kind of playing around with all of the items that I want to use. Some of the main things are definitely file cabinets. I feel like at a police precinct, they probably have a lot of files just from the day-to-day that they have to do, their logs and all of that. I'm not quite sure. I've never been a security officer or a police officer, but just in my head, they will have to do a lot of paperwork. There's also those desks that are kind of built to last. They aren't fancy, but they look like they get the job done. And then there's also a bathroom in here, because if you're going to be doing this type of thing for work, more than likely you're going to be working a long shift, so you're going to have to use the bathroom at some point, right? But anyway, I'm playing around with this coffee maker and kind of talking about the long shifts again. You would want something to keep you up and energized. So I'm just trying to figure out how that's going to work, and then I came across that round piece and I decided to put it in the corner in front of the stairs, and now I'm just figuring out what to do with the rest of these pieces. And I do move down that file cabinet that has like the double stack of things. I feel like that one will be perfect. So if somebody was to come in, if they were shoplifting, you know, you put all of their possessions in there, and if they got bonded out or before they get transported, they would get their items back or what have you. But yeah, I would probably say the most challenging thing in this particular shop was just getting everything to flow, especially upstairs, because there's not a lot of space, and that space is even broken down further because we have to account for the staircase. So I just wanted to make sure there was enough room for multiple people to function, and also just to give some of those creature comforts like a coffee pot, and I also put in a microwave Chillwave, and I like this kind of seal of justice, if you will. I do use that on the top of the building. I don't know, I feel like it's kind of inspirational to the people that do this kind of work. And I'm adding in some pipes and miscellaneous things that came with the Get to Work pack. I wanted this, like I said, to have like a historic feel, and I want a lot of these shops to kind of feel like a conversion, so that's why I opted to use some of the pipes just to make it feel kind of old, but they don't really get in the way. I just feel like it adds a bit of character to the place. But yeah, I'm looking for some computers to put on these workstations. I'm sure that maybe if you were in a law enforcement career and you wanted to come here, you'll have access to the police databases and everything like that. And I'm adding in that sprinkler system. You can never be too careful. There's not like a stove or anything in this part, but you know, never can be too careful. And I'm adding in these TVs here also from Get to Work, and in my head those would be like security cameras of the retail district, so you can see around different lots in my head, or different stores, a high traffic area. So definitely wanted to add in that touch. And now I'm adding in this counter here, and we're going to put on a microwave. So I mean, your Sims can, you know, make quick meals. Like I think one of the quick meals is like a microwave burrito and like a microwave pastry. So just something for your Sims to have and eat here. And I'm just loving all of these little details. My favorite has to be kind of like that faux steel beam around the windows and the door out front. And I like all of the big badges and seals. I don't know, I feel like it's a little over the top, but hey, I feel like a place like this really needs to make a statement. And I'm adding in some things behind this seating area. So I'm thinking with this seating area, like if you're here to bond somebody out of the precinct, or if you lost something and you're filing like a police report, you'll have a place to sit down. And upstairs in this 1x1 block, I'm making like a faux closet. Of course, it's not accessible, but I thought it would be super cool to have somewhere for your Sims to hang up their coats and things like that. And I'm adding in these security cameras also from the Get to Work pack, and this little wall decorative piece. I think this one is called Have You Seen These Criminals? And it's like a place where you can put like wanted posters and things like that. So I thought that was a nice little touch there. But yeah, I think next we're going to head into the bathroom and just really add some function in here. Most of these items are also from the Get to Work pack, and I add in a locker. I'm thinking maybe if they had something longer to put away, or if they wanted to change clothes, they would put things in there also. But yeah, and I do end up removing off camera that second wall dispenser of paper towels. I just kind of wanted it to look like a toilet seat cover, so that's why I put it there in the first place. But anyway, I'm adding in a couple of bibs and bobs here, like that paper towel roll and the kind of rack of teas and coffee, and then I put in that that plate and utensil station that came with the toddler pack. And I'm about to add in some drains in the bathroom and also in the jail cell. I feel like maybe it's just a lot easier in such a small space to just hose off the floor instead of trying to mop the whole thing. So that was my thinking behind adding in the drains. And yeah, I think we're pretty much finished with the police precinct. I was looking at a couple of items, and I was super excited to see that golf flag. I wanted to do a golf course for so long, but it's just nice to see that flag. Maybe I'll do something in the future with it. Let me know in the comments if you will be here for something like that. Anyway, we are moving over into our loan office, and initially I was going for kind of a hipster vibe, almost like I didn't want this place to feel super stuffy. I wanted to feel youthful and energetic. But eventually my kind of thinking with it changed. This one, surprisingly, even though there's less space to kind of work with, because of all of the cutouts and the things like that. I feel like this one gave me a little bit more of a run for my money. With the police precinct, I knew that the look and feel that I wanted to go for was very cold and utilitarian and also kind of industrial. But with the loan office on the inside, I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted it to feel fresh but not over the top, and also just a place where your Sims are in a good mood because maybe they can get a loan and fund some of their dreams. So I don't know, that was my thinking. I start off with this striped wallpaper that came with base game, but don't worry, I changed it out. And I didn't have an issue with it. I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. Maybe because I was just kind of going back and forth in my head with the aesthetic that I wanted to have. But I'm just cycling through some photos here and some paintings and just trying to figure out what I want to put on the wall and kind of clutter up the place and just make it feel like an actual office, not just a place that you'll never want to use. Like I said, I feel like a lot of these lots and shops in particular will be really good for storytelling. Maybe you have a young couple just getting started and they need a loan to buy a house, or you know, maybe somebody is applying for a car loan. I don't know, I just feel like a lot of these shops will be very good for storytelling, and hopefully you all will feel the same. Like I said in my first video, I feel like the loan office will be really, really good. And this is if you like mods in your game and you don't mind using them. This will be really good with the mod where you can have like a separate account, and I think that mod comes with an ATM machine. So out front I'm building like a faux ATM machine here. This is actually a parking meter, and what I do, I smush two of them together to kind of look like an ATM machine. I do my best to keep my build CC free in the game. However, it doesn't always work out like that. But yeah, this one I do completely plan on keeping it CC free, so that's why I smushed those two together. But if you want to use mods, I highly suggest that one. And I also think that there's a mod where you can get like a large lump sum for a loan. But yeah, I'm adding in these pictures around of Amber and Bob pancakes. I know a lot of times in loan offices they have pictures of people who've utilized their services and now they're happy, so I kind of wanted to go for that vibe. And I added in a chandelier downstairs. Upstairs I'm adding in these saucer lights because I feel like although the downstairs and the upstairs are the same height, I just feel like for some reason the upstairs is a little bit shorter. I don't know why, even though I know it's not, it just feels like it to me. So I didn't want to, you know, cut off my vertical space with ceiling lights, chandelier lights upstairs. But yeah, now I am just picking out some curtains, and I think we settle on these sheer ones from the Island Living pack, and I just really like it. I like the kind of green tinge to them. It just kind of feels like money. And I guess that's the overall feel that I wanted to go for. So this is the final wallpaper that I use. I feel like it has kind of a posh and polished look to it, if I do say so myself. And I'm squeezing in these 3 chairs from the base game pack actually together. I know a lot of time in offices, especially when there's not a whole lot of space, it seems like they squeeze their waiting room chairs so close together, super duper tight. So I wanted to definitely convey that feel because I have been in places where the seating is tight and it's kind of awkward sitting next to a stranger. So yeah, I'm moving in these pictures of Amber and Bob pancakes closer together, and I'm going to change out that wall panel by the bathroom, only because it's kind of weird having a door with that panel. Once I came across this wall pattern though, I felt like I wanted to go for a more modern but bougier vibe, just kind of combining what's traditionally considered to be posh and some more of the modern touches. So I do opt for a more black and white color scheme. And when I came across that rug, that green rug that came with the get together pack with the diamond on it, it kind of solidified the look and feel that I wanted to go with. And I'm adding in that club seal with the diamonds around and some of these hanging flags just to kind of bring in that branding. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to call this McDonald's place, but definitely something with the word dining in it. I don't know, just to kind of give it that bougier feel and just to make your Sims feel like today may be their lucky day. But anyway, you guys, I have rambled on enough. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up things right here. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching. It definitely means a lot to me. And please leave me a lovely comment down below. I would like to hear what you're thinking about the series so far, some things that you would like to see from me in the future. And yeah, so if you haven't done so already and you made it this far in the video, feel free to subscribe. What are you waiting for? Also, feel free to click that bell, that way you never miss an upload from me. And don't forget to like, comment, and share this video and all of those wonderful YouTube things. And feel free to follow me on my social medias. My Instagram handle is Simply-Nisey. You can always find me on Twitter at Simply-Nisey YT. And this is not available on the gallery just yet, but if you want to see some other builds that I did on the gallery, feel free to check me out at Simply-Nisey YT. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video.